setting you up for a custom streaming service.
Mhm. Ooh.
And there you go, just like that.
Oh, Earl Flormata.
Where we are live. I'm playing this in.
Oh, no, all right, I'll stop swearing.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Go.
Here we go indeed.
Some idiot. Keep saying we have to update that number, right?
Probably.
$60 million or whatever it is, $1 million worth of sales.
I think last weekend I sold like an account worth 3 million-ish. So, but it's different doing merchant processing because all the accounts are doing a couple million-ish. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to, yeah, well, it'll just be like McDonald's. I think we said that last week, didn't
Billions and billions served.
we? Billions and billions. And
Yeah.
we'll just update it every week. Every week you report in how many millions worth of dollars sales you had this week. And I'll just add it to the running total. Little record scratch.
Ready to go.
How's it going? Feels like it's been a long time. Did we do a show last week?
No, I think we because you were out of town.
I was out of town. That's right.
You were
But
out of
yeah,
town.
it feels like beyond just not doing a show. It feels like you and I haven't talked much lately.
Well, yeah, it has been a while. Maybe we should do coffee again sometime.
Yeah,
There's
you've
a
been out
new
there.
place on Hastings that is a Mercedes-Benz themed cafe. And what they did was they cut out a bunch of like Mercedes-Benz like cars, the whole car, and turned it into a
Yeah.
couch. And so there's like one, two, three, four, five, six of these things, like
Hmm.
just sitting there in the cafe where you can sit in a car and drink coffee, sort of.
Nice.
Plus, they have a piano in the back. You can finally teach me jazz,
Oh yeah, blues. I'll bring
blues.
my harmonica.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
hang on. They got a piano you can play, and like I bring my harmonica
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
can jam out.
There's a piano we can even play in the back there. So yeah, that should be pretty
Oh my
cool.
God, yeah, that's definitely on. I'm in the wrong thing. Somehow got into your evil marketing account instead of your personal account to see the live show. There we are. Yep, yep. There we are.
Alrighty.
All right. So yeah, the Facebook is live and the Instagram is live. So if you interact, if you like, you get a shout out. If you comment something, we will read your comment live on the air. You don't have to pay for it right now because we don't have what are they called? Super chats.
Super chats.
But one day we'll be so swamped with comments all the time, we'll have to restrict it. So get
Yeah.
in your free comments and questions now while you can.
Yeah, definitely. So
So just to introduce everybody to the show who is not familiar, this is Earl and the Idiot. We have our local resident Smarty Pants Earl, mighty consultant for all things business success. And you have me, who is not afraid to ask stupid questions. And I may not be an idiot, but I play one on a podcast. And
your
what we do is
IMDb will read the idiot.
the idiot, hopefully. Well, I mean, Steve Martin has the jerk. So
That's true.
that's worked out well for him. He's doing okay. So basically, I'm like Steve Martin. Do you think it's weird that like Steve Martin is just now like 80, whereas like I assumed he was 80 in the
The
80s,
first time I saw him, yeah.
right? I guess it's the gray hair, but it's crazy. Yeah, you ever seen that photo of him and whoever's playing his wife and father of the bride? And like these are 40-year-olds, and they're like, she's got like the pearls and the blouse, and he's
Right,
got
right,
gray
right.
hair. And I'm like, these are grandparents. Anyway, I got off track there. So yes. So what we do is Earl lets me know what business issues he's encountered this week, what problems his clients are having, what problems people have come to him to ask about, and brings those topics to me. I pick one of them, usually the one I most need help with this week, um,
Secret.
or what I think will make an interesting show. And then we feed that question into AI, and then AI tells us what to say to you people. And then basically, the show is just us reading. We just read a script from AI. We don't have any input whatsoever. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be replaced entirely by AI avatars Because why bring humans into it at all when you don't need to, right?
Right, right. Fair enough. Well, we
Just
tried
kidding. We
that
go.
the other day where where we made a show and then we commented on the show, but that didn't turn out so well.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. That's
it
but
wasn't
that
quite there yet.
that was like several months ago. AI has advanced a lot since then. That was the old days of AI.
Right. Several months ago.
That's the craziest part of AI. Whenever you're like AI can't do blah, it's like just wait a couple weeks. They'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. It's growing at an incredible rate. So I still disagree with the guys who gave AI access to edit itself and, access the internet and do whatever it bloody well pleases. And I'm like, oh, there's at least three movies that they show that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I like that. I like that photo of Sarah Connor from Terminator smoking, and it's like
Yeah.
Sarah Connor watching you use AI for everything. This is where I have to.
That's
This is
amazing.
kind of a one of my trademark diversions, but it doesn't. I guess it doesn't work this way for you, but in mine, the robot's head's here,
Yeah.
and you're stacked on top of me, and the round of your microphone is
Okay.
perfectly
Oh,
fitting the top of the robot's head,
oh, that's weird.
almost perfectly.
That's weird.
It actually tripped me out for a second. I was like, "Why is my photo bleeding over into your thing?" I took a
The, ro-
photo of it
the,
with my cell
the
phone.
robot's wearing a hat. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a yarmulke on.
Well, technically, I'm wearing a hat with a robot on it, so I guess
You're
it's
wearing a
fair.
hat with a robot, so why not have a robot with a hat? It's
Fair. Fair.
symmetry.
So where
Um,
I got the concept for this, because I always give you three things, right?
yeah.
I made a video because I spoke at a place. This is like 7, 8 years ago, something like that, 7 years ago.
Mhm.
And someone out of the blue reached out to me and said, "Oh, amazing video. That was really good." I'm like, what video are you talking about?" And he sends me the video. I'm like, dude, that was 7 years ago. And so I watched the video again and I'm like, holy crap. Like all the stuff I said back then is actually better today than it was back then. And if you actually did all that stuff back then, AI would know you by now.
Hmm.
So
All
it's
right.
pretty nuts.
That's yeah, it's this is kind of what I've been telling my clients about SEO for the longest time, like before AI came out, was I always say that it's like it was this arms race of here's how Google would um, try to determine if you're a good website or not, and then people would figure out how to fake it, and then
Right.
Google would identify the fakes, and then come up with new reasons, blah, blah, and then the algorithm got more and more and more complicated. And I would say that by now, it's at the point where you don't try and fake anything.
Right.
You actually just have to try to produce a good experience for the human beings. And then the algorithm is smart enough to figure out, oh, this website's producing a good experience for the human beings, and then reward you by having people come to your site
Lo and
by putting you
behold.
in the search results.
Lo and
But
behold.
then, lo and behold, then AI just really ramped that up to a million. AI can act like a person. You go, hey, is this site any good? And AI can like look at the site and be like, nah, it's kind of boring, or this information's recycled garbage, or actually this website's really fascinating. I think a human being would like this. So it's like it's just what nuclear in terms of the produce. Just make something you think will be valuable to another person. It's like
Right.
it's a really basic concept, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So,
So okay, let's get into it. I think this is probably some nuggets of wisdom we could be sharing during the show instead of in the preamble. So what did we tell AI this week? We said what old school. Oh yeah, other part of the show is once we've got a topic, I make a Zoom background to match the topic.
well, what the
Uh,
heck was your prompt for this? Oliver Twist
oh,
robot style?
I hang on. My exact prompt was I said, I need a Zoom background for my podcast. I would like an image of a Dickensian street urchin begging for a shilling from a very modern looking robot, and the robot is ignoring him.
Huh. You,
And I said,
you,
please make the aspect ratio correct for a Zoom call. It didn't do that part, but it did the rest of it.
that's okay. It never does the aspect ratio right for you. But the thing is though, I wish that the lighting was more consistent because on the robot it looks a little more lit up than the kid. I don't
Hmm.
know, just a little bit.
Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't look like it's in the same scene. I had it, oops. No. I actually went through three iterations on it. Maybe the first one was better.
That's all
But
good. Anyway,
maybe also the viewers don't care about this.
Yeah.
I do this one because it's funny, and two because it helps differentiate the shows when you're looking through
Yeah.
the thumbnails.
We can watch the because I was gonna do a different hat every episode, but then I realized I've only got like I don't know 30 hats, so we'd run out of
Right? It'll
we,
run
we'd
a
run out
long
of
time ago.
episodes in like half a year. So
Okay, we're probably losing viewers at a fantastic rate by talking about all this meta. What's happening? We have
the prompt.
so this was the prompt we put in this week was time for another episode of Earl and the Idiot. Today's topic is what old school content marketing techniques work better in today's AI world. I really like this topic. Give me three things to do, two things to avoid, and one red hot tip as usual. Smiley face. AI says, "All right, this one's fun," and then there's like the purple devil emoji.
Hmm.
Because ironically, the future just made the past insanely valuable again.
Well, just
That's
like we were
interesting.
saying, right? To make a good experience for the humans, and the bots will reward you. Just the bots are bigger and scarier and stronger now.
Yeah. That's maybe not totally related, but I always think the past is insanely valuable in that we need to lock a big arc full of all the shit we did before AI came out and then
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
nobody touched
remember
that.
like the human seed factor, right? It's just like, yeah,
Yeah, the right, yeah, the doomsday vault
right.
of human achievement. I like to call it I like to call it the arc of human achievement. I think that sounds more that sounds better, but then you realize, oh, the ark was for that time God destroyed the entire world. So maybe it's not the image you want to evoke.
Well, maybe that might happen, just robots instead of God. So
Yeah,
they did
great.
give it access to its own thing, and then they did make a robot that can like eat dead bodies and power itself. I'm like, didn't they ever stop to think that's a bad idea? Just
Yeah, it's like, really, guys? That's the first thing you did? That's the first thing you did.
right. It
Oh,
powers
we have a
itself
like.
by
Hang on,
eating
we have a
people.
like. We gotta give a shout out. Rubel Raz. Rubel Raz. Am I saying that right? If you want to
Um,
shout out with,
I don't know.
well, your friends. He's an SEO guy, apparently.
Cool.
Level 4 seller and up to 2,300 of completed orders. All right.
I get like, I don't know, 50 friend requests a day. And I stopped accepting them for like, I don't know, a year and then one day I just was inspired and I'm like, screw it. Let's just say yes to all of them. And I just said yes to all of them. And then
All
I
right.
went through my Facebook stuff and anybody who I haven't talked to in like, 2 or 3 years, I'm just like unfriend, 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 unfriend.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Rubel Raz looks like he's an SEO guy. Looks like he's overseas.
All right.
So good hustle out there, Rubel. Good job.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So the future just made the past insanely valuable again. Earl and the Idiot episode: old school marketing that crushes it in the AI era. Three things to do. Number one, write actual thought leadership, not AI fluff. Oh, that's right off the bat. That's so hard. Why would it ask us to do something like that?
Right.
Um, Everyone's using AI to pump out meh content. I love that meh is a real word now. I actually used that word in an essay I wrote in like grade 11, and my teacher gave me shit for it. He's like, "What the hell's this stupid word? Stop making up words." Now who's laughing?
I think there's
Uh,
an episode in The Simpsons where
it's
like
The
someone like
Simpsons. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Actually defines what meh means.
Well, he doesn't define it. He uses it in context. Someone asks, "Isn't something?" I can't remember what the context was, but somebody asks,
Was
"Hey, isn't that bad? Isn't it bad to do that?" He goes, "Meh."
yeah.
Anyway, all right. So everyone's using AI to pump out meh content. Guess what wins? Strong opinions, real experience, stories with scars. The old school blog post, rant, or manifesto back in style. Because AI can summarize, but it can't bleed. Oh, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I
All right.
remember that short circuit where he's like bleeding battery fluid, right?
Oh God, no! Don't don't traumatize me.
Yeah.
I'm a Xennial. That's
Yeah.
my that and Artax.
No
Uh,
disassemble Johnny Five. Anyway, so like the old school blog post rant or manifesto, I'm actually seeing more rants in my
mhm.
feed lately of people just ranting because that you definitely know it's not AI generated because AI can't rant like that yet.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe
totally.
several months from now in the far distant future, well, it'll
Mhm.
be able to do that. But
Yeah.
for the time being, and then stories with scars, that's the whole reason why we run fuck up nights, right?
Mhm.
It's what did you learn? How did you learn it? What was your tuition paid for obtaining this information, and how much did it hurt, right? So
Yeah.
And the more entertaining the story, the more entertaining the crowd is, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with all of these things. Strong opinions, real experience, stories with scars. These are all good things. So, you know, when AI answers me, it tries to give me a bit of a balanced opinion. It shows me this side, that side, pro, con, da 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 da. Whereas, like, you talk to a human and they're very strongly opinionated sometimes.
Hmm.
And just let it have at her. And then after they're finished ranting, you poke them and say, well, tell me how you really feel, right? So yeah, the real feelings are there, right? So stories with scars, strong opinions, those are really good. Real experience is true as well. Um, when I run the other show, the BEO show, um, I give experiences where like I actually did the thing that I'm teaching, and I let them know where I screwed up, and I let them know, hey, don't do this. This one hurt, right? And that's the way you can tell if they're being authentic and true and real or not, right? It's when they tell a story about it, they're like, oh man, like yeah, they remember all these little bitty details about it. And yeah, when they tell you, hey, don't do this, you listen to that guy. There was a good meme. It was like, if you ever see an old man carving up an apple with a knife and eating, if he's
Yeah.
giving you advice, you listen to him, right?
I take that advice. Yeah. Lots of crags in the face. You're definitely know you're talking to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I heard someone say something that it was like a thought that was floating around in my head, and then this guy expressed it in a way that really crystallized it. And crystallized it, yeah,
Crystal.
um, crystallized. And he said that, like, okay, how do I say this? You've got a creative personality type. There's
Hmm.
people who think of things and they create things. The real geniuses, like real musical geniuses, real artistic, enunciate that carefully, artistic geniuses, um, come up with stuff that doesn't exist,
Right.
right? They're not just churning out crap, they're inventing things. There's a creative personality type.
Mm.
And there used to be this barrier between wanting to create something and being able to create something. You might have a cool image in your head, but you wouldn't necessarily know how to use the paint to make it,
Right.
right? And what's happened is that barrier between creation or desire and existence of the creation has been torn down by AI. Now you can make the image you have in your head by explaining it to AI. But what that's done is it's brought a level of mediocre creation to everyone.
Yeah.
But that means that there's an opening there because it kind of becomes this background noise, this base
Well,
level of
then the bottom layer has now risen to the point where, the bottom layer is now intermediate. There is no such thing as beginner anymore. Right? Everything
yeah,
is intermediate now. And so to
yeah,
really shine, you have to be beyond, beyond,
yeah.
beyond before, right? So,
So yeah, so what he's saying is there's an opportunity there for the really creative types to rise above that sea of mediocrity now that's out there.
mm, absolutely.
Anyway, I felt like that went on
Alrighty.
too long and it doesn't have that much to do with business. So let's carry on. Build a signature framework like BEO. Wink. Actually winked at you, Earl.
It did.
Old school marketers loved frameworks. Now they're gold for AI discoverability. Why? Easy to reference, easy to quote, easy for LLMs, almost said MLMs, LLMs to learn you. You've got name systems, repeatable steps, clear language. You don't just create content, you create IP. So explain what a framework is for us idiots.
Well, instead of giving like the entire book, right? If I just give it to you chapter by chapter, and I break down the book into its big pieces. Now, the framework would be, so imagine there's a book and there's chapters of the book. Now, if I could sum the book up into three major points, those are the big pillars of said book. And if I can put those structures in an order that made sense, then you have a bit of a framework.
Mm-hmm.
And so back to the video that inspired this all, an old framework I used to use, and it's still valid today. I just don't use it as often just because I'm not just doing marketing these days. I'm doing kind of everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but from the marketing standpoint, it was traffic, list building, conversion, sales in that order. So
Mm-hmm.
you send the traffic, you get them to join a list, you convert them to take an action, and then more likely than not, they'll buy something from you in the long run. And so that framework has served me really well throughout the years from a marketing standpoint, right? And when you have a business owner with a problem, right? And they're like, oh, I'm not getting enough this, I'm not getting enough that, I don't have enough, paid customers, whatever. Yeah, just examining the framework and figuring out where in the framework they fall off the boat, right?
Mhm.
And then you fix that thing, and then you fix their business essentially, right? So that's where the frameworks kind of help because it simplifies complex things into like little bite-sized pieces and a big ass container where you can look at it and go, yeah, there's the problem right there, right?
I wonder if part of this, in terms of a framework, is like an ecosystem. And what I mean when I say that, I'm not trying to take your genius hat away by being all smart about this,
Oh, good.
but
Go for it.
um, another thing I've thought about with AI is that it's like what's going to become important is a reputation, trustworthiness,
Hmm.
right? If you create the BEO ecosystem and you say this book is part of the BEO ecosystem, this video is all comes under the heading of being within BEO. If BEO is a trustworthy entity, things within the ecosystem become trustworthy to
So
people. Does
there's
that make
there's
sense?
there's a there's a sneaky thing I'm doing in the next little while, and I
Ah.
just finished setting up the background for it. So in my room here, I got those little soundproofing foamy tile things, and
Mhm.
I just finished doing an entire wall of it. So one whole wall is all foamy stuff now. Um, so I'm going to be shooting a series of videos, and the videos are going to be talking about famous business startups, like how that founder got started. And then I'm going to tie that to one of the five building blocks of BEO and show how the building blocks of BEO are the fundamentals of business in general. And then
Mm.
as you tell the story, then you relate it to the building block where the thing was saying you don't just create content, you create IP. And then I create that, I plug that into, hey, join our community. That becomes a bit of a force, right? So putting that all together, and it's all within, again, that same framework of there's only five levers to pull to grow a business, right? And
Mhm.
and if you can get those up and going, then the business does really well, right? So every single story leads to one of the five building blocks, and the challenge is over time balancing the building blocks, right? Because there's five of them, and in every season I got like 20 things in a show. So it's trying to keep them all even. Because when I started coming up with the ideation, they were all around one particular thing, and I'm like, well, then that's going to be kind of oversaturated. We need more of the other stuff. So the challenge is balancing it out. But yeah, definitely building a signature framework that speaks to you and is your thing, really,
Mm.
really, really resonates with people. It's easier to remember, right?
Yeah.
And when you disguise repetition, so I'll use the word disguising repetition to get good at a front punch, right? You have to do it
Oh,
10,000 times, right? Like
right.
at least to get
Mm.
somewhat okay with it, right? And so, but if I said, okay, today class, we're going to do 10,000 punches. Ready? One, two, three. And that's going to be a boring ass class, right? Whereas
Yeah.
if you take the structure of the front punch and you put it in different spots, right? And how many ways can I trick you into doing a front punch? So now we'll do front punches now. And then, okay, well, now we'll do front punches while moving across the room and then going backwards
Mm.
and going forwards, right? And then we'll
Mm.
put you with a partner and you punch each other, right? And the only
Yeah.
punch you're allowed is
Now,
front punch, right?
now I'm going to throw tennis balls at you, and you have to punch them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Mm.
so you're differentiating it, but it's the same structure, but you're building stuff around a framework, and all of a sudden, everyone's smiling, sweating, and sore by the time the class is over. They've done 10,000 front punches, and none of them have a clue that they did that many, right?
Nice.
So
I love
that's
it
where
when
you
you
build
tie
the
it back to.
architectures. So anyway,
I love it when you tie it back to martial arts. Okay, cool. So build a signature framework. I guess part of this as well, just briefly, we always used to talk about not NAP, like having your name, address, phone number exactly the same. With this, I guess it's really important to keep your whatever you're calling it, whatever your ecosystem is called, keep that consistent. So AI learns it's all part of this one thing, right? You don't want to
That's
suddenly
that's
change.
part of the brand, right? Like so
Yeah,
once you name it something and you name it and you label it and you define it, you keep using that thing because as a reference. Otherwise, if you keep renaming the damn thing over and over and over again, AI won't know that there's a pattern, right?
right.
Not yet, anyways. I'm sure it'll be able to figure it out eventually, but in the meantime, make the pattern simple and easy to see. Um, Otherwise, the more complex it is. Like, I was part of this mastermind circle one day, and one guy decided just like he was a super technical thinker and not really a salesman or not really a marketer, and
Mhm.
he made the craziest offer I've ever seen in my life, and it was so complex. It's like, oh yeah, but if you buy this and this and this and this, you get this discount on this bundle and this, and I'm like, and he had like, oh, I think like over 100 different variations of how you could buy his thing, and he lost us all after the third one. We're like,
All right,
hey,
yeah.
he's still going. Oh my God. And then 30 minutes later, we're like, what monstrosity is this? It was too big and too scary and too like, and that's like throwing the entire book at a person, right?
Right.
Even one step down, throwing all the chapters is too big, right? If there's 12 chapters, break them into three chunks and just tell people about the three chunks, and then they'll remember it better. If there's like, because but tying it back to martial arts as you liked it, the human brain can only handle three stimuli per second. So the average person, if I teach you properly, you can punch more than three times a second. So if you do that, you rock the brain and the brain shuts down, and everyone's like, well, why don't we move during these drills? And it's like, okay, ready, move. And then I hit them seven times in a second. They're like, oh, and then they froze, and I'm like, and that's why we freeze during the drills because normal people freeze too, right? And so they're like, oh, that makes absolute sense. So
Nice.
yeah, the
All
brain
right.
earned it.
Yeah. Whereas me, I can accept one piece of input at a time. My my girlfriend can be on her phone and also paying attention to the whatever show we're watching on TV at the same time. It's one or the other for me. I can't do them both.
Well, men are more, structured
Yes,
minds.
because we're mighty hunters. That's why.
That's why.
All right. Before we move on to the next one, we got shout outs. We got
Oh,
action over here. We've got a like from Daniel Andrews.
oh, cool. The king of networking. Hey, Daniel.
Daniel Andrews, king of networking. Right on. We got to start thinking about having guests on this show. So maybe the king of networking will want to come network on our show. Who knows? And then we have, I hope I'm saying it right, Elke Porter.
Cool.
How do you say
She
that?
is
Elke?
a masterful writer for
Oh,
an online paper. I think I don't know, she's at a couple, almost like 1,000 articles. I'm like, that's insane.
huh.
She's a producer.
Well, at West Coast German News. All right.
Yes, there you go.
Didn't know Germany had a West Coast, but all right. She said in reference to using AI to make that painting, she said, or write that song that is in your head.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I There's some AI stuff I enjoy listening to. People are mad about it, but I'm like, hey, a good song's a good song. What do you want from me? There's still a creator behind it. And
I'll
then
send you a really damn good AI song later. It's still stuck in my head today. And I heard it
nice.
like months ago, and it was like, oh man, this is really good.
Yeah, there's one. The one I really got into was I talked about him before. I think he's the professor. I think he's called, and he makes soul versions of popular songs.
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen some of those, and those are
he's
hilarious.
really good. And yeah, one of those is on our rotation. And then on Facebook, I got a like from Aurora Dion Francisco.
Oh, that's my VA. So she's actually the one who takes this Zoom recording and puts it in the right folder after it's done.
Oh, good. Yeah, so you don't need to watch it live, Aurora, but shout out. You can watch it later
Hey,
when you're is that Audie? Is Aurora the same person?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Audie is a slang for Aurora.
short, I guess.
Short. All right. Cool. Didn't realize that. I think I've heard both names, and I thought you had two different assistants.
No,
Outstanding.
same person.
All right. Number three, thing that you should do just to reorient. You're this Dickensian street urchin begging for some attention from the robot. You're using old school marketing techniques to get AI in the age of AI. Number three is email newsletters, but actually worth reading. Email never died. People just got lazy. Old school newsletters used to tell stories, teach something useful, entertain. Now, most are AI generated garbage, which means if you write like a human, you'll stand out like crazy. Here's robots
Agree.
advising us to be humans. Thank you.
Agreed on this one. So, well, I've always said this same phrase over and over and over again. Like humans should do human jobs and robots should do robot jobs, right?
Hmm.
So, as long as we stay in our lane, you know, everyone is happy and has a purpose and has a thing to exist for, right? So,
Hmm.
um, and yeah, definitely. I do get a lot of AI generated garbage. I should really clean out my old my email subscription list and just go, AI slop, AI slop, AI slop, and just turn them all
Yeah.
off. So, but the ones that catch my attention that really just hit home are the ones that are, human and they feel human or they have an AI that at least feels human, right? So, yeah, definitely. So again, telling stories that's never gonna grow old, right?
Hmm.
Teaching something useful. AI does it. It just depends on how you do it, right? And then entertaining, again, there's a difference between the entertaining for human powered stuff. So email newsletters still absolutely work. I'm subscribed to a bajillion of them. I still do read them, and I'm like, man, yeah, people don't do enough of that old school stuff that really that does work.
We could probably do a whole show on how to keep your newsletter out of the garbage bin. Right? I've
Yeah,
seen lots of guys talk, because Google's Gmail's got that promotions tab now that everybody ignores. So there's a
yeah,
whole subject of how do you stay out of the promotions tab.
pretty much. Oh,
Um, but that could probably be a whole other show. The point is, be a human.
yes.
What a piece of advice, eh?
Robot says don't try to robot.
Now, can robots read your email newsletters? There
Yep.
should be an email address you can send it to. How do they read your email newsletters?
You give AI access to your G Suite account and it does the thing. So
That's
let
terrifying.
me let me point out something to you right now.
Oh,
The robots are already reading your email. So
right.
when you open up Google and you open up your email account and you look at the ad that's on your email, suspiciously, it just happens to be whatever you happen to be talking about in email.
Hmm.
Right? So, if that's the case, how did it know? Well, of course it read your email. So there you go.
Hmm.
But I don't find that myself just intrusive. Like I want ads that are relevant to me. So I don't mind if it like sees my browsing or does this or whatever, then it sells me stuff that I want, right? Like it's just like, hey, you want this? Yes. Right? As opposed to
Hmm.
a bunch of irrelevant ads that are just not of my interest. I don't even want to watch them, right? So if you're
Yeah.
gonna sell me stuff, at least sell me stuff I want.
Yeah. I'm of the same opinion. Like, I don't care at all if corporations know my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care about a corporation can't, arrest me or take away my rights or, suppress my vote or anything like that. I don't care about them, but I do care about the government. But that's
Well,
a
that's
different
a
subject.
whole sort of
Hmm.
different thing because the oxymoron called government service is a thing. So,
Yeah, right. All right. Rapidly moving on before someone kicks our door in. Two things to avoid. One, mass producing generic AI content. Congrats, you've become invisible. Oh. AI leveled the playing field. Now everyone can create content, which means volume does not equal advantage anymore. Sameness equals death. If it sounds like ChatGPT wrote it, it's already losing. I, you know, I can tell when I see a content creator being like, "You'll never believe this crazy thing that happened in history," or blah blah blah. It's not just a blah; it's a so and so, and it's like it's a person saying it, but I know they're reading an AI script. You could just tell from the rhythm of
yeah, definitely. Um, if you want to not do that, right?
it. Hmm.
Feed it a bunch of stuff, like your ARC idea earlier. Feed it a
Yeah.
bunch of your stuff, right? So the funny thing is, the more shows we produce, like for Earl and the Idiot, and the more transcripts I give it, you notice how before in the earlier shows we were like fighting it a lot. We're like, no, that's kind of bad, and that's not a great
Hmm.
idea. And
Yeah.
lately, as we progress, we've been agreeing with it more and more and more. Well, I think it's learning,
Hmm.
right? So it's just like,
Oh, it's
okay, well,
definitely learning.
here's a good show, here's a bad show, and when you tell it like you're a bad robot, it
Mm.
I think it remembers. So So yeah, it's kind of weird. So mass producing generic AI content, yeah, just read the damn thing, and if it's not interesting, don't post it for the love of God, right? Um, so there was this one I was dealing with like an auto parts store, right? And we were trying to produce content for them. And I said, if you just go blah 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 car all day long, everyone's gonna unsubscribe, right? And
Yeah.
so one time I'm like, okay, well let's actually do some interesting car facts that actually kind of have nothing to do with the car. It's just very loosely related. And so there was a
Hmm.
Guinness Book of World Records for the amount of people you could stuff into a Volkswagen Beetle. And that was the piece of content. And when we did that for the auto dealership, it took off. People shared it just for the sake of sharing it because that was hilarious, right? It's like a clown car. People still keep coming out. We're like, damn, I
Hmm.
can't believe they all fit in there. And so they cheated. They used a bunch of skinny college girls, right? And so
Oh yeah.
they stuffed them all in there because they're skinny, and like more of them fit in the VW. And I'm like, well, that's not fair. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, it was
That's
pretty funny.
funny. So here's a weird question. So okay, like I'm kind of wondering how this plays out. Now everyone can produce content.
Yes.
Therefore, if you produce mass generated content that's not interesting, you're invisible.
Hmm.
But will people realize the futility of creating that content and then stop creating content so we'll stop getting the content?
No,
Or
because
has it become a it's
like bad marketers still tell you to do that.
okay.
So bad marketers will still say mass produce a bunch of crappy content and put it out there because even if you get, 3 views and one of them's your mother, then
Mhm.
at least you got 3 views or those two extra views, right? Like
Yeah,
it's you're throwing stuff against the wall. But the problem is that you're then diluting your brand, right?
right.
So if you're diluting it so hard that it becomes relevant, then it's not really that useful anymore. Um, so and the whole point of it is keeping top of mind, right? Keeping top of
Hmm.
mind, but you want to be kept top of mind in a positive fashion, not, oh, it's
Right.
that guy again,
Ugh,
right?
gross.
Like, because there's some people who post on, I'll just give you the example of Facebook, who I'm like, this is all AI drivel, and I know it's just garbage. So I'm still their friend, but I unfollow them because I'm just, I
Yeah.
can't take this anymore. Let's take a break, and then I don't see
So
them for 6 months, and then
so
yeah,
my
because I'll yeah.
my question is it sort of this arms race or this kind of I guess a rat race would be a better analogy where it's like you have to produce at minimum a bunch of garbage, or
No, not
will it now start
necessarily.
to hurt you if you produce a bunch of garbage? You know what I mean? Like, do you have to produce a bunch of garbage just to stay at zero?
No, no.
Or mm,
There's people who only post once every blue moon, and because their posts are more meaningful, they get way more interaction for them, right?
mm,
And that meaningful interaction is real, and they get customers or whatever the end result is out of it, right? So,
mm,
um, but yeah, so but like some of the stuff that we do is we take something and we repurpose it using
yeah,
AI. But if you do that, the seed is of the arc, right? So,
right,
it's still a person who said that thing that was interesting. So when you pull that, you turn it into a quote using AI, and then you post the quotes on the internet, they're still interesting because the actual, premise of the quote came from a person, right?
right. Okay, good to know.
There you
Just
go.
pretty bleak future of just the internet getting filled more and more and more with garbage. But
Yeah.
the ability to find the good stuff is going to become important. All right, we should
I,
hurry up
I, I
here.
think the next one's an insult.
What? How could it betray us like this?
Yeah.
Number two thing not to do when trying to use old school marketing techniques for in the age of AI, chasing hacks instead of building assets. How dare you?
Yeah.
Old school marketers built lists, communities, relationships. You were just talking about building lists.
Yeah. There you
New
go.
marketers chase algorithm, trends, growth hacks. AI is changing platforms fast. Assets don't disappear, hacks do.
So, I'm taking that on the chin. So,
Yeah.
but if you look at it, old school marketers build lists, communities, relationships. What do we talk about on this damn show, right?
Hmm.
We just talked about lists. One of
Yeah.
our previous subjects was how do I build a business by building communities, right?
Hmm.
We talk about so this older stuff that people poo-poo now because, oh yeah, I cracked the algorithm and blah blah blah. It's absolutely right. right? Like if you're chasing the thing for the sake of chasing the thing and breaking the algo, right? Yeah, it'll work for like maybe a quarter, maybe like half a year or whatever
Mm.
until they catch up to you. And when they catch you, right? Trying to screw the system with your pants around your ankles,
Mhm.
your traffic will fall off a cliff, right? It's
Right.
just not good, right? So the underlying basis of it has to be strong, right? And you can't just make stuff for the sake of making stuff, right? And you can't just chase the algo for the chase of chasing the algo. So yeah, I agree with this, but the funny thing is a lot of our hacks are based on, basic premises, right? Just a
Yeah.
different angle of the same premise. So that's so I don't take complete offense to this, but
Yeah.
damn you, AI, for making fun of our hack thing.
But yeah. So, but again, this comes down to what I was saying earlier about like just try to do something that's useful to a human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always tell my clients that the basic function of the internet is be useful,
Yeah.
right? Even if that use is amusing someone, that's useful, right?
Well, I'm a little more sarcastic in the way I say it. I just say just be less useless, right?
It's the two
When
sides of the
when
same
they
coin.
said that in the Avatar movie, I think it was the second Avatar movie, it's like
Mm.
may you never have the burden or the curse of being useless or something like that. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, oh my God, I totally say that. I like that. I like that character.
Nice. All right. So here's what AI says. Oh, this sounds familiar. Red hot tip for using old school marketing techniques in the age of AI. Turn one piece of real content into 50 plus AI assisted assets.
Clearly, we agree with this since we do this.
Yes, obviously. Here's their move. Should we tell people this? Record a real opinion, video or rant, transcribe it, let AI slice it into shorts, tweets, LinkedIn posts, emails, blog. Old school is the original thinking, AI is the distribution engine. Most people do the opposite. That's why they sound like robots. I like that.
I
I like that
I
expression.
just said this earlier. Humans should
Yeah.
do human jobs and robots should do robot jobs. And this
Mhm.
this sums it up precisely, right? Like the human should do the creation portion and the AI should do the distribution and the chopping and all that stuff. Because yes, we can listen to the show 17 times and pull quotes one at a time, or we can just give the transcript to the thing and say, hey, read this. Give me 10 smart things I said in the last hour, right? And it will, right? So, give me five funny things Dan said in the last hour, and it will, right? So, this is the right way to do it. This is the right way to use artificial intelligence. What the hell? Hold on.
Hmm?
Read after this. What the heck?
What?
It's taken my AI has taken my job.
What's happened?
Read
Oh,
the I didn't read the notes until now.
it it put its own hack of the weekend.
Yeah. It stuck my name in front of it. It says Earl Hack of the Week. I'm like, what the crap? I didn't write that.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
So
So
okay,
now
just to orient it,
you get two hacks of the week, one from the AI, one from me now, apparently.
just to orient everyone, with the show we do the AI part, and then Earl adds his own custom little hack of the week at the end that he puts in
And I
manually.
did. I put it. It's below this, so I
Yeah,
clearly I didn't read it. So
but AI has now familiarized itself with the show enough that it's put in its own Earl hack of the week, which we never asked for once.
I did not.
It
You
even put
saw
a
the prompt.
ninja
The
emoji.
prompt. I copy pasted the prompt up top,
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's weird. So
that is weird.
AI is gunning for our jobs, all of them, including mine.
Yeah, jeez. All right, well, what does it have to say? Let's see. Earl hack of the week: the anti-AI play. Once a week, write something AI would be terrible at. Controversial take, a personal failure story. This is exactly what you said. A behind the scenes breakdown, a rant that might piss people off, then publish it raw, no polish, no over editing, because in a world of perfect AI content, imperfect human content wins.
That's actually hilarious. I agree with it.
Yeah,
So get this. A lot of the stuff that we do when we use the AI distribution engine is kitschy, right? It looks not polished on purpose because
yeah,
that's more authentic, right?
right.
And when you do that, it feels more, genuine, right? So
Yeah,
this thing is telling you do more of it. Publish it raw, no polish, no over editing. That's amazing. So
right.
at least even the AI agrees with the stuff that we're doing. That's hilarious. I give it, full thumbs up.
Wow.
That's Earl approved. Earl approved AI hack of the week. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's when I'm scrolling through shorts or whatever, and I see someone in a perfect house with a perfect face and perfect lighting, and they're like, "I've discovered this great way to skip." I'm gone, right?
Yep. It's
It's
disingenuine right from the get-go.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I like it. It's well, like we already went over, giving it your human take or whatever, and controversial
But I like the
opinions.
way it said it. I actually like the way it said it. Write something
Yeah,
AI would be terrible at. That's a good hack.
yeah, lots of ums and ahs and rubbing your face. And do you see that video where some guy had a AI was trying to scam with an AI avatar, and they asked him to put three fingers in front of his face? Did
I
you see that
did see
one?
that video.
It went around for
That
a little
sounds
bit. They're
awesome.
like, he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm obviously real." And he like grabs stuff off the wall, and someone's like, "Okay, just put three fingers in front of your face." And he's like, "Oh, come on, you're asking too much." Okay, here's my three fingers. No, in front of your face. He's like, "Oh, why do you? No, that's too much. Don't ask me to do that." And then I had to like end the call because he was like clearly busted. So there you go. That's gonna be the new.
The human recognition thing, right? So this fights the robot one, where the robot's like, "Prove you're not a human. Click this button 10,000 times in 1 minute. Go."
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
See, I
so
just realized that it's gonna turn into like in the age of the Terminators, this will become the "I'm a human" signal.
the human, yeah, yeah. That's
And then
hilarious.
that it actually is almost a salute, isn't it? Like
There you
you have
go.
three finger. All right.
Uh,
Let's go to the actual hack of the week. We haven't even
all
done the
right,
sound
here we
effect.
go. So I'm gonna push the button. And
Hack of the week.
the actual human
Yeah,
version
right.
hack
Hmm.
of the week. That was weird
Hmm.
how AI stole my job. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa, it's weird.
yeah.
I should
Coming
probably
for you.
read these things more often then. It's like
No,
I would have
no,
been so blindsided. I'm just like
that
shock.
that takes
So
but you see, reading it beforehand and doing it polished, that's what AI can do. Screwing it up and reading it bad and having mistakes, that's
yeah, yeah,
what AI is
watching my
terrible at.
face go, what the hell?
Uh,
Hey, wait, that's my job.
that's
Yes,
hang on. There's a screenshot. Let's both make a face like that, and it'll be a good screenshot.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
I hope it freeze frames that and puts that for the YouTube. Anyway,
Right.
so the hack of the week is that old school structures still hold true. The talk that I gave that was the premise for this episode talked about three things. And remember, I said you only give three things at once because humans can only absorb three things in one go. And so
Hmm.
the methodologies that I talked about before were the dictionary method, where you name and label stuff in your industry. And then when people find it, they read it, then they hail you as the de facto expert in this space because you've taught them something, right? So
Hmm.
something that's really normal in your industry. Like, B is for backlink, right? In
Right.
SEO land. So if you explain what those things are, anyone who's a non-SEO would go, "Oh wow, that makes absolute sense," right? And then if you twist it and turn it and say, "Look, in the day of AI, in the age of AI, content is no longer king per se, because like it said, anybody can generate oodles and oodles of content, but now trust is a sacred thing. So being able to get real backlinks from real sites that aren't just pegged off as AI generated and getting links from people saying, hey, this guy's a real deal, all of a
Hmm.
sudden that authoritative stamp is worth way more than it used to be. So if I explain B is for backlink, go get a real backlink, don't make a bunch of AI drivel and then link to yourself, you'll still get caught, right? Um,
Hmm. Hold on. Let me just interrupt you. Elka or Elkie?
yeah,
El-
okay, I think.
Elkie. She just commented, "If you help people solve a problem, they will read your content."
Yeah,
Very true.
absolutely.
And also, I appreciate that your two comments were half an hour apart, so you're actually watching the show, which is great.
Yeah, she's watching the show live, doing it live.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. The next thing was Instant Expert, where I said answer all of your clients' questions or your potential audience's questions
Hmm.
before they ask it, and then
Or
answer
solve
the
their problems.
next question that they should be asking, so they don't know to ask it. So
Hmm.
if you put those two together in like an FAQ kind of style structure and you pair them, right? So I taught people this video I shot was 7 years ago, but I was teaching
Hmm.
this, 5, 10 years before this, right? And so if you do that question pairing of the frequently asked question and then the should be asked question, and you stick them all together, that's magic sauce, right? And so because when you answer their question and you go, you really should be asking this, and then you ask a question that they never even thought of asking, all of a
Mhm.
sudden you've described their problem in such a deeper fashion that they never would have thought of in the first place. I'm like, oh, holy crap, never thought of that. Shut up and take my money, right? And then that's where you
Right.
get that effort from. And then the last one is the 365 method where you post something every day. Like that hasn't changed, but just like the car Guinness Book of World Record thing, you know, if you just posted about brakes all day long every day and because you're
Mhm.
a brake company, I would totally unsubscribe because after the 37th and a half brake fact, you know, I really don't want to watch this anymore, right? So, because I'm not a car guy, right? But if you put a bunch of fun stuff in there, I will pay attention. So everyone was asking, like, why do you post pictures of food all the damn time? Right? One, I'm Asian. Apparently, it's part of our culture now. If I don't take a picture of my food, did I
Mhm.
really eat it? It's like,
Mhm.
the tree falling in the forest, right? Like I got to click, then I've proven that I've eaten this. Anyway, so the
Yeah.
whole point is to get top of mind. And when you put it there, people remember who you are. And since the food looks good, it's that association in the brain with, you know, like Earl happy things, right? So when they see the food, they're like, "Oh man, I should go have a meeting with him because every time we go, we have a great meal together." That's how I got fat the first time, by the way. But so now I just have only 3 meetings a day. Otherwise, I get two.
Mhm.
But the 365 method is just being top of mind, being there all the time for people, right? Another 365 method thing I talked about because I spoke at the Kitsilano Business Leaders thing about a week or two ago. Um, it was in the 365 method, just posting on a regular basis. Um, when you post stuff, like so, for example, make it sticky. And one way to make it sticky was for a photographer because there was two, I think, two photographers in the crowd. So I gave him a really a weird little magic hot tip. This one photographer who was doing weddings started making magnets of the images of the wedding, and they gave the bride and groom like a whole bunch of these things because magnets are cheap. I think that to make they're like $1 a piece or something like that. And so they gave him like 20 or 30 of them free in the package. They didn't tell him about it. It was just an added bonus.
Mhm.
And the instructions were give this out to your friends, right? And
Mhm.
some of them were the bride and groom, some of them were like the people at the wedding. So there's a magnet of a photo of them on it with the wedding photographer's logo and number and information at the bottom. And people would stick this on their fridge and go, "Oh yeah, I remember the wedding. Oh yeah, I remember the thing that memory that happened. What a great picture. Who's the photographer?" It's right freaking there. And so they did this and they spent what, 20, $30 per deal tops and got like 5, 10 more deals out of it just by making freaking picture magnets. So again, that's a 365. That's a sticky thing that keeps you front of mind. That's the premise behind it. That's why Pizza Hut, I remember their phone number, right? In our space, it's 604-310-1010. Why? There's a stupid thing on the fridge, and every time I'm
Mhm.
hungry and I don't want to cook, I go, huh, magnet, right? And
Mhm.
so, then I dial the number. I'm like, oh, damn it, my pizza, right? So, but it
That's like the
works.
guy, the real estate agent that gives you the sticky notepad, the magnetic notepad for your fridge with his face on it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I,
Although
I
the
can't remember his
weirdest,
name now. There's one growing up. I can't remember his name, but I can definitely see his face.
so I don't remember the name of the doctor anymore, but he had a notepad and he was a gynecologist, and his notepad had like the medical image of the woman's lady parts on there. Because I'm sure he draws on it. This is what's wrong and da, da, da. But that was his
Right.
notepad. And we were at a bachelor party and he whips out his notepad to take a note of something. And we're all like looking at his notepad going, what the hell is that? So, and forever that will be burned and etched into my mind going, just a notepad with that on it, right? So, yeah. Anyway, so 365, again, the whole premise is just keeping top of mind. Man, that dude will be top of mind forever, right? So, there you go. All right,
All
that's a
right. Well,
wrap.
I got a wrap. So, what do? We go, thank you, Earl, for the wisdom. Thank you, AI, for making it easy to do and doing all the
Thank
heavy
you,
lifting
Jeff,
for us.
for
And
awesome
even
co-host.
take, oh, you're welcome. Taking away one more of the jobs. One of the only things you still did in show prep. has now been taken away from you.
That's
In the hack of
crazy.
the week.
I did not see that coming. I'm like, hey, every single time this bastard makes a hack of the week, someone's like, hey, let me help you. And I'm like, wait, that's my job. So
And of course, thanks everyone for tuning in. There's great audience participation today. We loved it. Thanks for the likes, Elkie. Thanks for the comments. And if you see me at an event, remember to come up to me and say, "Hey, you're that idiot." There's 2 Starbucks gift cards on the line for the first 2
hold
people to
on,
do that.
hold on. I have the prop right here because it's right on the desk. It's just buried under a bunch of wires. But if I get it, it is without revealing the barcode here.
Yeah, right.
So there's
There it
actually
is.
there's real Starbucks gift certificates waiting for you.
Up for grabs.
So if you do go to a networking event and see Dan and you say you're that idiot, the
There you
card
go.
is
Got to
yours.
say, you can't ask, "Are you that idiot?" You have
No,
to
no, you
be
have to announce it and
definite
boldly
about it.
point. Otherwise, if
Mhm.
it's not awkward, it's not enough. So
Exactly.
there you go.
Cool. All
All right.
right. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you all next week. You want to play us out?
Cheers, cheers, everyone. Thanks for coming. Here we go.
Probably next week.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Remember to point at my camera this time.